Greetings, everyone. I'm very pleased to be with you wherever you are, and to speak to you about the 2018 document from Pope Francis, Rejoice and Be Glad. There are certain key words which reveal the spirituality of Pope Francis and his vision for the Church. Two of those key words are mercy and joy. Both mercy and joy are qualities in God which the people of God, we, ought to mirror, show forth, manifest in the world. I think we can consider mercy and joy under the rubric of gift and response. Mercy is God's gift to which we respond with joy by being merciful ourselves. During the year of mercy, I did some reading and reflecting on mercy. I discovered that mercy is the English translation for three Hebrew words that occur in the Old Testament. The one that I found most beautiful and thought-provoking suggests that the root of the word mercy is also a word for womb. Mercy is a maternal word. It is compassionate care for others that comes from the very life-giving center of a woman, the womb. So from this perspective, mercy highlights the feminine in God. For me, it evokes the image of God bending over the world as a mother bends over her child in the crib. God embracing me as a mother embracing her child, and I respond with joy. I'm not sure how often Pope Francis uses the word joy when he speaks. However, I'm struck by how often joy and related words appear in the titles of his writings. Evangelii Gaudium, the joy of the gospel. Laudato Si, praise be to you, Lord. Amoris Laetitia, the joy of love. Gaudete et exultate, rejoice and be glad. In that last document, Gaudete et exultate, Pope Francis seeks to remind everyone that we are all called to holiness. The Holy Father goes on in a practical way to present a holy life as a joyful life. The bishops of the Church, gathered for the Second Vatican Council in the 1960s, already made it very clear that not only priests and nuns, but every baptized person is called to holiness. In the chapter called The Universal Call to Holiness in the Dogmatic Constitution on the Church, the Vatican II bishops say, strengthened by so many and such great means of salvation, all the faithful, whatever their condition or state, are called by the Lord, each in his own or her own way, to that perfect holiness by which the Father himself is perfect. And again from the bishops, it is quite clear that all Christians in any state or walk of life are called to the fullness of Christian life and to the perfection of love. Perhaps the most concise expression of the universal call to holiness is found in the Gospel according to St. Luke. Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. At its core, says Pope Francis, holiness is experiencing in union with Christ the mysteries of his life. It can also entail reproducing in our own lives the various aspects of Jesus' earthly life. Then he says, the contemplation of these mysteries leads us to incarnate them in our choices and attitudes. So there are two aspects, two sides to holiness. One is contemplation, prayer, reflection. The other is action, putting the gospel into practice, living out who we have become through contemplation and prayer. Quoting Pope Benedict XVI, Francis says, "The measure of our holiness stems from the stature that Christ achieves in us to the extent that by the power of the Holy Spirit, we model our whole life on His." Now, I tend to think of Pope Francis as more concerned about the aspect of action than that of contemplation. However, a careful reading of Gaudete et Exsultate reveals that to be truly holy, you can't have one without the other. Everything can be accepted and integrated into our life in the world and become part of our path to holiness. We're called to be contemplatives even in the midst of action, and to grow in holiness by responsibly and generously carrying out our proper mission. And again, Francis says, we need a spirit of holiness capable of filling both our solitude and our service, our personal life and our evangelizing efforts, so that every moment can be an expression of self-sacrificing love in the Lord's eyes. God's holiness manifests itself in the lives of holy people. Holiness, says Pope Francis, is the most attractive face of the Church. Is that the face that others see when they see you? Gaudete et Exsultate. Rejoice and be glad. God bless you.